But basically, my plan today, just very, very quickly, is to give you a bit of context as to what on earth Stickerbook is and sort of where it all came from and what it's currently doing. And then also to show you what it looks like and how you use it and why, what benefit you would get out of using it. And then just to give you a bit about the impact it's had to date in terms of a positive impact in terms of sustainability. So I'll try and run through those three things. If I start with basically what it is, I guess, just to give you a bit of context of who I am. So I basically been working in sustainability for about 15 years. I was originally an environmental engineer and then came into corporate roles where I was working in corporate sustainability. And really, long story short, and I'll get into the sort of challenges I faced in some of these slides early on is in terms of what I was doing. But long story short, I was noticing people, if you ask people I work with, do you care about sustainability and do you want to work for a responsible organization? Everybody says yes. And yet actually when I was putting together some strategy and trying to change the business, I was finding it exceptionally hard to actually engage those people for a variety of reasons. And so I kind of wanted to look at how I connected that. As I was doing that sort of piece of research back at university, my 4-year-old son was collecting stickers on Disney and learning about Disney via sticker collection. I thought, well, actually, if a 4-year-old can manage it, then possibly some of my colleagues at CBRE at the time could do as well. And that was kind of the genesis of it, was this sort of the ability to have a practice at CBRE, but I was also studying the science. And I'll just quickly go through some of that before I show the platform. But just to reiterate who we are now, we've been going for about 2.5, almost 3 years. Both myself and so I was a director of sustainability engagement and upskilling at CBRE, and before that, say, environmental engineer at Veolia, where we did water, waste, and energy projects for over 150 million pound spends. My partner was head of sustainability at Pret, the sandwich shop, and so we basically both of us have had the joys and the challenges of running sustainability programs or strategies across international organizations. And so it kind of we're trying to bring that experience to bear. Hopefully we've sort of been in your shoes and understand some of the challenges. It is science backed, so it was all done via research at the University of Cambridge, where we are now currently based and who are our primary investors. And currently now we've kind of taken it from that sort of research idea and taking it out to market and out to proof points. And we're currently working over 35 countries, and we've had well over 200,000 stickers collected along the way. So that's just a bit about who we are. In terms of really an overview of what this is, the challenge we're trying to overcome here is it really simply put, sustainability is a new business language. We are basically looking at shifting a business and every element of its operations from how it traditionally operates to how we want it to operate in a more sustainable way. And that's a massive task. There's not many more sort of challenging tasks in terms of doing that. And on top of that, there are some particularly weird, sort of wonderful facets of sustainability that make that challenge maybe even slightly harder. So, for example, we do have to involve everybody. So, it's, as I say, it's the whole operations we're trying to take with us, all these people, and that's quite a unique challenge. Many other parts of the business, finance, you might be looking at one person and a team, but actually this is everybody we'll be trying to look at. So you're looking at massive amounts of people you have to bring with you in incredibly tight budgets. So that's a real challenge. Likewise, in terms of the information we then want to give, people want their training to be personalized and relevant. We don't want sort of, it's all well and good to talk about polar bears and the Arctic, the retreating Arctic ice. That's great. But how does a human take that information and connect it to their everyday day job? That's what they actually want. And expecting them to do that and then work out, okay, well, how does that affect me if I work in real estate or if I work in supply chains? It's just too difficult to work to actually say that's what I do in a day-to-day life. So we really needed to make sure that the information is relevant and rewarding and sort of specific to that person. People also really value control, and this is something that we try when I was at CBRE. Can we try and do mandated style or sort of training sessions? We'll come and get external people in to come and do a day session, and everyone, people turn up. Well, nobody turns up. Everyone basically, business gets in the way. Everyday work gets in the way. So people really want the information when they need it. they need to get the information, they need to apply it. In fact, for example, one thing I think it's one statistic that I would, really brings this home for me is that a study was done. 75% of information in a workshop or a webinar is forgotten within 6 days, if not applied. So, going and doing these workshops, webinars, you take people off the floor for a day or off work for a day, and actually 75% of it is gone within a week. And so what we noticed just as a personal thing is people would remember who I was, but they wouldn't remember what I said. And so when a sustainability question came in, no matter how simple it was, they just fired it straight to me because they could remember who I was. And so actually the training was backfired. We were getting more light level inquiries rather than less when we were trying to upskill the people. So that was something that we needed to move away from more quickly. And finally, people are super busy. People are super busy. They really don't want to have a lot of time to give, a lot of competing priorities. And for example, 83% of us think TikTok and Instagram are good places to go for sustainability advice. So that's good because we know people are going and doing stuff, and they're telling us the sort of information, the content they want. But we have to listen to that and give them the actual content in the way they want. And that just to bring this all home, that 4% in that middle. There's a study done by Bain & Co. looking at sustainability change programs. So again, we're talking about changing the organization to make it more sustainable. Now, change is difficult in every context, in our personal lives, etc. But in sustainability, unfortunately, it's even more difficult. So the success in a sustainability change program, they found, was only 4% of sustainability change programs actually achieve the carbon, water, waste, emissions targets that the organization was setting out for. 47% fail outright, so 1 in 2 just fail completely, and then the other sort of percentage actually do something but not everything. So it's a huge waste of time and effort and money, but also it's a worry for us in terms of a climate emergency point of view. So that so we're really trying to connect people with our strategy so that we can actually get more success and shift that 4% up. And a really simple way of thinking, I think about this, and this is something we sort of said to our colleagues, is we are asking you to get proficient, not fluent, proficient in a new business language. So if we turn this on our head and we said we wanted you to be proficient in French, would a 1-day webinar work? In 6 months' time, would you remember any of that? No, categorically not. If we taught you the basics of Latin, would you be able to apply that to everyday French? Absolutely not. So why are we talking to you about polar bears when we work in a real estate company? And finally, if we mandate it and make it boring, are you going to want to do this again? Absolutely not. And I'm thinking of my own training in other disciplines, whether it's cybersecurity, etc., etc. I'm not going to want to go back and do something that was challenging or boring. And so essentially, we came up with 3 R's: repetition, relevance. Repeat the information so it sticks. Make it relevant so they can use it and apply it, and make it rewarding so it's not, so it's fun, or as fun as possible. And to go back to the language scenario, take things like Duolingo, for example. That's the sort of way that people are now engaging with that information. So take that same thinking in terms of sustainability. I think that's sort of just. I mean, I've got a couple. There is also one just very quick slide. I won't go through massive statistics on this. We have got a white paper if you want to go through some of the statistics. But just to give you an idea, this is not a sort of far off problem. 42% of business leaders, people running the businesses, are saying that engaging their staff is the biggest issue to implementing that strategy. So you're seeing the leaders doing it. You're seeing the sustainability professionals and practitioners say, actually, this is one of the most challenging things I find. Not only have I got to engage all these people, I've got very little budget to do it. And finally, you're looking at, this is going to be a growing problem because 75% of sustainability professionals believe all jobs will require green skills by 2050. That's about 13% at the moment of professionals have any green skills. So there's a big gap today, and it's only looking to grow. So that's kind of the overall scenario. In terms of the platform, so if I can show you how it looks and how it works, and just take you through some I suppose some sort of information and features. I guess I'm going to try and put myself in your shoes, so I'll try and slow down. I'll try and maybe repeat some stuff that I think is of particular interest, and I'll try not to go into some of the more sort of peripheral features. But basically, the idea is it's a digital sticker book. It's your stickers. It is iiE's Stickerbook. And so the stickers will continue to evolve over time and be dynamic as we bring new stickers in, both from our own off-the-shelf content, but also created by iiE. And I think that customization is really important to make clear here. It is a customized sticker book. So just an example, if I look at CBRE, you will see they have very, very different stickers, very different, and you can actually change the colors if you wanted, but they've got stickers specific to their strategy, their tools, and their processes. So that's where, I want to make that very clear. As a user, when you log in, the main thing I would say is that the takeaway is this thing here, your essential features. This is your essential stickers. So when you sign up, you will just register by saying a little bit about who you are. And based on that, your membership level and where you're based, you'll have slightly different stickers, basically pinned and personalized. So they're the key things. So overall, we have 45 stickers at the moment. As I say, that number hopefully will grow as it's dynamic. But rather than being overwhelmed by the amount of stickers, it's the essential stickers is where I'd say I'd start. And that's kind of the key things. In terms of how a sticker works, I can talk you through that. So if I just go and look at our essentials, an example here is what is biodiversity, for example. So let's have a look. So this is one of our partners. We have a partnership with David. This is our David Attenborough sticker. Now, this is just biodiversity. This is about a biodiversity sticker that we've got with the Royal Society. Again, why would we redo that compared to them? But you can kind of watch the video. This is one of our longer ones at 5 minutes 40. They're normally way shorter. And then you can collect the sticker by answering very simple questions or taking an action. But I'll take you through an actual sticker in a second. If you look at key topics, again, these are the chapters down the left. So essentials is sort of the summary. But if you want to go and see everything you can in key topics, green skills, social sustainability. So again, if I go to a quick one, so in terms of our content, I mentioned we want it to be highly credible. So we're backed by the University of Cambridge. Actually, if you look at the screen there, you'll see we have the University of Cambridge on our content. Beth Knight, for example, is a tutor at Cambridge. And so it's credible, but it's also things like it's very accessible. So you see here it's 60 seconds. The longest is 5 minutes 40, the David Attenborough one. So it's quick and it's accessible. And just to give you an idea, our reading age of our scripts, the content, is a maximum reading age of 15. So the idea is, no matter, because it's a jargon-filled world, we take all that jargon away and make it very, very accessible for anybody to engage with. And so you can watch the sticker. If you want, you can change your captions to Spanish and whatnot. So there you are. I've collected my sticker. I've got my dopamine here if you wish, and then you've got your sticker added. If you want to have some deeper dives, you can. But the idea is you can carry on and obviously collecting more stickers. But that's sort of how the stickers work. They're short, they're accessible, and they're credible. Yeah, and so as I say, then you can go and do some green skills stickers. So again, here, for example, we've got one on communicating sustainability by Mark Brownlow, who was the exec producer of BBC's Blue Planet 2. So tips, really practical tips, but you can do some more green skill stuff like materiality assessments, net zero. So it runs the whole gamut of different information, and on that there's also social sustainability in here. So trying to bring in what is the social sustainability, well-being and why it matters. And again, just to give you an idea, so that's by Dr. Beverly Flint. She's a clinical psychologist. So it's about getting credible people in short and sharp but accessible formats. And finally, there's also some personal action stuff you can do. Again, this can grow, whether it's green your email habits, tell us where you can have personal impact, sort of make a pledge, etc., or actually take an impact like divesting or becoming an active investor. These are stickers we can grow. We have a library of well over 100 stickers. Well over 100 stickers, probably 200, 300 stickers in terms of over 7 hours of content. So we'll be adding more as we go and tailoring stuff with iiE. In terms of how it all put together, as a sticker, when you open your sticker pack, you have 5 stickers. You then might have one shiny. The shiny stickers are essentially what we deemed as achievements. And so this is basically, you can think of this as a couple of things. A reward for doing certain things. So we've created shiny stickers for bronze, silver, and green in line with the iiE membership grades. So you can level up by collecting just by any 5 stickers there, etc., etc. So you can get sort of level up But you can also do things by having impact. So referring colleagues, so referring somebody or another green champion, you can get a bonus sticker. And you can do things like accuracy streaks, but you can do playlists. That's the other thing I would say. So at the moment, this is pretty early on, but if I go back to things like CBRE, when they use it, well, actually, I probably won't show you too much with that, so there's a lot of stuff in here, but an example is they put together a green building essentials playlist. Essentially, it's a Spotify playlist, but they've picked the stickers that they want in here, and then they can share that with the team that they want to be pushing that out to. So you can kind of create your own playlist, and that's something we can do with you. So for example, again, at CBRE, just to give you an idea, they've got an ability network, and they've said, okay, here's all our ability stickers that we've created. You can collect your shiny by working your way through all of those. So that's the achievements. Just to give you an idea, they will be CPD certified. So our first CPD, so we're just in the middle of redoing our CPD certification. So by the time this sort of goes live in the next few weeks, you will have sustainability smart, carbon confident, and these will be CPD certified learning journeys. Again, they are just playlists of stickers that you and your colleagues, your green champions, can work through at your own pace. Yeah, that's basically how the platform works. Again, I would just reiterate the essential stickers is the most important thing. If you want a favorite or like a sticker to come back to it, you can do that. And then if you want to see what this all means over time, you can see things like the leaderboards. So you can see how you're getting on. This is just from our first part of the launch of the pilot that Anthony mentioned. You can join a team or create a team. So you'll see here there are teams within the iiE memberships already starting to form. And finally, you can see like what impact is this having. Now, again, this is pretty early on for iiE, but you can see basically how is it having, who's doing what at what accreditation level, who's doing what in what location, and then finally, how this links to the SDGs. So each sticker can be aligned to an SDG. So where are people taking action in line with the Sustainable Development Goals? And just to give you an idea of how that can look once you've got more sort of impact, you can see that over the course of sort of 3 years, even at CBRE, it continues to grow. Employees continue to come back and advocate and refer others. So you just have this growing network of champions, of learners, and you can see not only does the number of people grow, they'll also, in terms of the average amount of stickers or learning they're doing, they are coming back over time to do more. So yeah, that's kind of the platform. I'll just very quickly end with sort of so what in terms of what the impact is. That's very important. We have some positive impact. So I guess this was one of our partners actually, or a new partner, when she looked at the platform, she was like, this is what I want to go back to my board with. Imagine if we had this. So imagine if 89% of our people actually participating in a sustainability initiative rather than just sort of tumbleweed and gathering dust. Imagine 98% of our people were recommending what we were doing to others while we were getting on with our day job. So we get on with our day job of reporting and strategy, and something is just slowly building and building and building, and we're having more and more impact, more and more learning, strategic learning, whilst we continue on with our day job. And then, to that point, what if 98% of people, of our colleagues, felt more aware of what we were doing whilst we were getting on with our day job? And finally, I think the thing they were most interested in is imagine 92% of our people actually had, going back to that green skills gap, had a few skills that they could apply in any of their roles to start bringing about the sustainability change. And so, and had the confidence to talk to our suppliers and around scope 2 and scope 3 and all that sorts of stuff. And I think the thing I think we were most amazed by is because we got people engaged in sustainability. And at the beginning, I mentioned if you ask somebody, do you care about sustainability? Do you want to work for a responsible organisation? They'll say yes. But because we got them more involved, we were quite shocked, but we found that actually 80% of people were now saying, because I know more about our organisation sustainability, I actually feel more satisfied about working here. And so there was a sort of a HR benefit as well, in terms of from the board as well about the impact of Stickerbook. So that is it. Hopefully that's give you a bit of an overview of what it is, how it works, and sort of what the impact can be. If you do have any questions, then please do shout.
Essentially, there are two phases. From today, all of the iiE Green champions will have access to the Stickerbook platform. We'll get that link emailed out to you. From the beginning of April, we'll then extend access to a wider group of your colleagues, and the number of licenses you get will reflect the iiE membership package that you have. And again, we'll communicate that in due course. And then, as I say, there is this potential opportunity for you to extend access to your entire workforce if you feel that the Stickerbook platform offers you what you're looking for. One thing we quickly wanted to flag, just because this came up about 3 or 4 times off the back of the first webinar. So when you get the link and you go to the Stickerbook webpage, access is limited to approved email accounts. So I will send all of your email addresses to Simon and his team, and they will approve those email accounts. If you try to share the link with your colleagues, they won't be able to log in for that reason. That's just because in phase 1, we're just restricting this to the green champions. So your email will basically forward it to Stickerbook. They will authorize access to the webinar. You'll get an email from us, as I say, inviting you to access the platform. You'll get a link to the login page, but you still need to register and set up your account on the Stickerbook sort of landing page, if you like. So we've kind of put the graphic there on the right. Not sure how clear that is to everybody, but you can see that the bit we've circled there at the bottom where it says sign up. You still need to go in there, put your email address in, and it will generate the password for you. So again, if anybody has any problems, we are on hand to help with access. I think the vast majority of people had no problems, but just we thought we'd share that with you because, as I say, 3 or 4 people had the same issue. There are a couple of other things that have come up with access, but we'll deal with those on a case-by-case basis. But I think Stickerbook have resolved most of them.
Just if it helps, one so a couple of FAQs that I sometimes get that I didn't cover. I just suddenly realised if it helps is one question we got a lot is it mobile ready? Yeah, I should have covered that. Yes, it is. So if you want to use a mobile, you can. We can send a QR code if that's of interest. And the other question we get is, can you create your own content or can you create your own playlists? Yeah, you certainly can. So again, yeah.
Can I just quickly add to that? I think one of the I think it's quite important to stress the reason that we've chosen the Stickerbook platform is because we really do think it has that accessibility across the workforce. So it doesn't really matter whether you might be an environmental manager or a sustainability manager. You're going to get a hell of a lot out of using the Stickerbook platform because of the range and depth of content. But you could be a new starter within the organization with very limited responsibility or accountability for sustainability, other than contributing to the company's efforts to follow their environmental policy and their sustainability action plans. But you could incorporate access to Stickerbook into maybe part of your new starter induction process by making it a requirement that they go in and view 2, 3, 4, 5 sort of key sticker videos within the system, and that within that spectrum there's obviously quite a broad range of individuals. So that's primarily why we've taken this on. Simon's already talked about the kind of the level that this is targeted at in terms of the content, jargon free. We're very aware of the fact, we're constantly reviewing our own materials, our own support materials on investors and environment, trying to make sure that we take out as much of the jargon as we possibly can, because we appreciate that when we do this on a day-to-day basis, that's not necessarily always helpful if we are using sort of sector-specific terminology and acronyms and whatnot. And again, Stickerbook is free from all of that. Just in terms of the sort of additional content, Simon didn't mention it, and I didn't mention it earlier. We are going to be looking at adding some investors in the environment specific content in terms of actually helping you to meet the requirements of the accreditation. That will come in due course. That won't obviously be available from day one, but we do have plans to do that. And there is even the potential for you as iiE members, if you wanted to, you would potentially be able to add stickers or a video, should I say, on a particular theme. So if there's a really good case study where you've tackled, as an example, maybe you've done a lot of work around water efficiency, we can potentially produce a sticker with you that we can share with the iiE community, and that would, that ticks a box there for those of you that are going for your green accreditation in terms of that influencer role and helping the wider sort of community to further their own sustainability journey. If anybody has any questions, or after the session you think of anything that you wish you'd ask, you're more than welcome to just drop us a quick email on the info at iiE address, and we'll come back to you sort of straight away with a response. Just to finish off and close off today's session, just a quick reminder that we do run our webinar series throughout the year. This year we are launching our Getting to Grips With series. So this will be a series of webinars throughout the year, helping you to address very specific requirements of the investors in the environment accreditation process. So we'll be running sessions on getting started with iiE, getting things going for the first time. So things like looking at writing your environmental policy and drafting your action plans. We'll run a session on carbon footprinting. We're going to run a session looking very specifically at scope 3 and carbon reduction planning and how that all links into net zero. We're going to run a session looking at transport related aspects of your EMS, helping you to manage and hopefully reduce your transport emissions. There'll be some content around water related activities, water efficiency and such likes. And then we're going to do some kind of more interactive sessions, basically helping you to address some of the key challenges, a bit of a sort of an FAQ type thing, I guess, with we're going to be inviting some of our more experienced members, and obviously the iiE team will be on hand to run through any questions that you might have. So just to give you a flavour of what to expect there, if you jump onto the iiE website, we've obviously got the dedicated area for the events calendar, and all these sessions will be up there fairly soon, and you'll be able to book your place. So obviously that's all part of your iiE membership package. There's no charge to attend any of the webinars, and it will be great to see some of you there. Last thing, I think most of you are aware, but just in case you're not, in terms of more sort of formal training, we do have the Green Champions training that's accessible through the learning management system, which you access through the member sign-in area on the iiE website. And again, that's available to all members. And we are an accredited training centre for the Institute for Environmental Management and Assessment. So for those of you that need more in-depth, more formal training, we run 3 courses. There's the environmental sustainability skills for the workforce. That's a 1-day training course. It's kind of builds a little bit on the content of the Green Champions training, so it's quite similar, but there is a little bit more to that skills of the workforce session. I'm more than happy to explain that to anybody that's interested. Pathways to Net Zero is a 2-day course. So if you are someone that's been tasked with sort of producing the organizational strategy of how you're going to get to net zero, that might be an ideal course for you to help you get to grips with all things net zero. And for those of you that have sort of even greater responsibility for environmental management, we do the 5-day foundation certificate in environmental management, and along with that comes associate membership of iiE. So if any of those are of interest, all the information is on the website, but again, you're welcome to email us and we can answer any questions. I think the first training course, external public sort of training course we're doing this year, is in April, and we'll be delivering them throughout the year. Can do bespoke courses, by the way, just in case anybody's interested. So if you want us to do a net zero course just for your organisation, more than happy to do that and talk about that with you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. Hope that's been useful. As I say, just to recap, email will go out a little bit later this week, inviting you to register and sign up for access to the Stickerbook platform. And from the 1st of April, we'll obviously extend that to your wider team in terms of the green team, and we'll also send out some more detail about how you can extend that to the rest of your workforce. So yeah, thank you, enjoy the rest of your days, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.